Hello, everyone. I'm Rohan Kumar, Corporate Vice President of Azure Data at Microsoft. I'm so delighted to welcome you to Ignite and to speak with you today. We've all heard or talked about what it takes to enable digital transformation for today's organizations. But what is increasingly evident is the role that data plays in driving successful transformations. Data is truly the strategic asset for businesses today in these unprecedented times. Those businesses who have embraced data as a strategic asset have simply fared better. They have established the culture and capabilities needed to be more agile, able to anticipate and predict disruptions, and pivot as needed to better serve their customers. From our experience in observing customers, having the right data capabilities is one of the key considerations to successful data-driven transformations. Successful data-driven transformations include the following capabilities: modernizing your data estate and establishing a foundation that is future-proof and connects all your data. Supporting high-performance cloud-native applications built on cloud-native services and design principles. Turning your data into actionable insights for everyone in your organizations. Applying AI to your data to predict outcomes and provide engaging experiences. Discovering, protecting, and providing access to data in a responsible and compliant way. Taken together, Azure provides the best data estate capabilities for your organization to thrive today and tomorrow. And as you would expect, Azure's data services are deeply integrated with the services across the Microsoft Cloud. Azure Data Services widely support the Common Data Model, a set of standardized extensible data schema inherited from the Microsoft Office applications. And with the Power Platform, you can author rich Power BI reports directly in Synapse Analytics, as well as extend access to a variety of data sources on Power Apps by using out-of-the-box connectors like the one for Azure SQL. To enable data-driven transformation through your line of business applications, you can easily connect Azure data sources with pre-built connectors to Dynamics 365 and create a 360 degrees customer view for deep audience insights. Let's look at each one of these capabilities in more detail. Let's start with data modernization. Azure SQL is our family of SQL databases from virtual machines to platform as a service to the edge. And Azure Migrate, the central hub of Azure Cloud Migration Services and tools to discover, assess, and migrate workloads to the cloud, makes it easier than ever to get to Azure SQL. Today, we're introducing new capabilities for SQL Server discovery and assessment at scale, including target SKU recommendations, and for the first time, the estimated cost to run workloads in Azure right in the same tool. These changes make it super easy to understand all the technical and financial aspects of your journey to the cloud. And while we're speaking of the journey to the cloud, it's super exciting to see the rapid growth and adoption of Azure SQL. We host over 7 million databases in Azure SQL, and our migration destinations of SQL Server on Azure Virtual Machines and Azure SQL Managed Instance are growing over 200% and over 70% year over year, respectively. Speaking of Azure SQL Managed Instance, customers like Komatsu and H&R Block tell us how they can now confidently modernize their existing applications at scale by combining their experience with familiar tools and resources. Given the strong reception for Azure SQL Managed Instance, we have decided to take it a step further and offer a new service for NoSQL workloads. Today, I'm excited to announce Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra, a new addition to our NoSQL portfolio, which brings hybrid capability and cloud scale to your Cassandra deployments. This new service makes it easy to take on-prem Cassandra workloads and add cloud scale while maintaining full compatibility with the latest version of Apache Cassandra. Your Cassandra deployments gain improved performance and availability and benefit from Azure's security and compliance capabilities. Cassandra Managed Instance also provides transparent replication and synchronization to keep your data always up to date. Node repairs, updates, and patches can be handled by the service, or you can choose your own level of management control. Your deployments can also extend into a fully managed cloud database service with seamless connectors between Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra and the Azure Cosmos DB Cassandra API. To see how it works, I would like to invite Deborah Chen, Senior Program Manager, to show you this fantastic innovation in action.
Thanks, Rohan. My name is Deborah Chen, and I'm a Senior Program Manager on the Azure Cosmos DB team. Let's see how easy it is to get started with Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra. Let's say we're a developer here at Tailwind Traders. We are currently powered by an e-commerce site with an on-premise Cassandra database. This mission-critical application handles everything from shopping cart checkout to inventory management, so this application is crucial to our company's success. During high-traffic events like sales and holiday events, we want to take advantage of the cloud to scale out our capacity. With Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra, we can do just that. This service, brought to you by the same team as Azure Cosmos DB, allows us to extend our existing on-prem Cassandra cluster into the cloud by integrating Azure Managed Instance with our existing Cassandra rings. This gives us the benefit of high availability and elasticity of the cloud while maintaining data proximity on premises. Let's see it in action. To get started, let's create a new managed instance cluster in Azure. From the Azure portal, we see that we have a new top-level service, Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra. From here, we can create a new cluster. We'll set our cluster name, shopping cart, which is the same as what we currently have on-prem, the location, underlying VM SKU, number of nodes, we'll set this to 5 to start, and initial Cassandra admin password. Next, in our networking section, we can configure this resource to be deployed to an existing virtual network that is already set up to connect with my on-premise Cassandra deployment. Once this cluster is deployed, remote nodes can join the existing on-premise Cassandra ring to establish bidirectional replication. We'll hit review and create, and that's it. In just a few steps, we were able to create our first hybrid managed instance in Azure with two-way replication between on-premise Cassandra and the Azure cloud. Let's now take a look at an existing cluster that I set up to see what we can do. One of the key benefits in Azure MI for Apache Cassandra is that the service handles all the operational overhead of running Cassandra, from OS updates to Cassandra upgrades to maintaining high availability, while giving us developers the flexibility to tune the settings to our own needs. For example, we can tune the replication and consistency settings of our database, just like we can with on-prem Cassandra. Here, we'll use the built-in Azure Cloud Shell to connect to our cluster and run a command to update the replication factor of one of our key spaces that contains user profile data. In addition, Azure MI for Apache Cassandra makes it easy to scale to handle any traffic pattern. Here in my Grafana dashboard, configured to monitor our Cassandra app, we're currently seeing that we have around 2,400 requests per second with an average latency of 5.8 milliseconds. But let's say that one day we suddenly start to see a huge spike in traffic, and as a result, the average response time of our app is increasing and approaching the limit of what we can accept. To handle this increased traffic, we can go and scale up our managed instance. Here in my data center settings, I can add more nodes to an existing data center or add additional data centers in different regions for higher availability. I'll select our existing data center and increase the number of nodes from 5 to 11. Over time, as the operation completes, we should now see that even with the increased request volume, our latency is trending back down to what we expect. After the high traffic pattern is over, we can scale back down. In summary, with Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra, we now get the benefits of a fully 100% compatible managed Apache Cassandra service, allowing you to control hybrid on-prem and Cassandra cloud deployments, as well as migrate your existing Cassandra workloads with zero downtime. We've seen how easy it is to deploy, run, and scale, and connect to your existing on-prem cluster. You can also set up online replication between your managed instance and serverless Cosmos DB Cassandra API to take advantage of instant elasticity and other benefits of Cosmos DB, including real-time operational analytics via Synapse Link. With the addition of Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra, which complements our existing serverless Azure Cosmos DB Cassandra API offering, Azure truly offers a comprehensive solution to running all of your Cassandra workloads, from hybrid to serverless. We can't wait to see what you build. Thank you.
Now let's switch gears and talk about cloud-native applications. We also have some important updates to Azure Cosmos DB to share today. Cosmos DB is our fully managed, globally distributed, ultra-low latency NoSQL database service. Today, we are announcing new features that make it easier for developers to manage their data and power innovative real-time applications. Starting today, Cosmos DB now provides MongoDB v4 transaction support. This capability, now generally available, makes it simpler for developers to take advantage of multi-document transactions and retriable rights. It also improves data processing with support for new aggregation operators. Azure Cosmos DB also now offers enterprise-grade enhancements like continuous backup with point-in-time restore. This gives you a new way to fix accidental changes by enabling data to be recovered and restored from any time within the last 30 days. New role-based access controls to enhance security with granular data access capabilities for users and applications. I'm also pleased to share the general availability of Azure Synapse Link for Azure Cosmos DB, which enables near real-time analytics on operational data for the Azure Cosmos DB's core API and API for MongoDB. Speaking of near real-time, I'm also excited to announce that Azure Cache for Redis Enterprise tiers are now generally available. Built in collaboration with Redis Labs, the enterprise tiers offer powerful features to support new use cases and applications with global scale. This includes active geo-replication, enabling global caches with multi-master rights to deliver up to 5 nines availability. New Redis modules that enable search, time series, and probabilistic functionality. Larger cache sizes of up to 13 terabytes. And support for Redis 6.0. Azure is the only public cloud that offers these comprehensive features to turbocharge your applications. Now let's talk about one of my favorite topics, analytics. Azure Analytics remains simply unmatched. It is humbling to see the massive excitement and rapid adoption of Azure Synapse Analytics. Since last summer, we've seen a 350% increase in customer usage and a 320% increase in the number of petabyte-scale mission-critical workloads. And to make it easier for customers to take advantage of Azure Synapse, I'm excited to announce a new service today that dramatically simplifies the migration experience. Welcome Azure Synapse Pathway. With just a couple of clicks, Azure Synapse Pathway scans your source systems and automatically translates your existing scripts to T-SQL. What used to take weeks or months can now be accomplished in mere minutes. We are talking hundreds and thousands of lines of SQL code translated in minutes. No manual rewriting of code, no chance of human errors. This massively accelerates your migration experience and significantly reduces your costs. Customers will be able to quickly download this tool and migrate from Teradata, Snowflake, Netezza, AWS Redshift, SQL Server, and Google's BigQuery. And with Azure Synapse, your business teams can collaborate with your IT and data science teams using the tools of their choice. With Synapse and Dynamics 365 Customer Insights now natively integrated together, Dynamics 365 Customer Insights users can now choose what data to export. Example, customer profiles churn analysis to Synapse for enriched analytics. Within Synapse Studio, Customer Insights data is automatically discoverable and can be used to gain powerful and predictive insights that can be surfaced back to the Dynamics 365 Customer Insights to empower sales, service, marketing professionals to provide more personalized experiences for their customers. Synapse is, of course, also natively integrated with Power BI, the undisputed leader in business insights. This means Synapse users can author and publish Power BI reports from within their Synapse Studio, enabling all business users to benefit from important, timely insights. Only Microsoft offers this no-cliffs experience across your organization, enabling business and IT to work hand in hand. Now let's talk about AI. In AI, we offer the most comprehensive portfolio of AI services, enabling organizations to build mission-critical, high-quality AI solutions responsibly. Tens of thousands of customers such as Pepsi, Amway, Airbus, BBC, and Progressive Insurance are using Azure AI to deliver compelling customer experiences, identify new business opportunities, and drive impact. We are seeing strong adoption for Azure Machine Learning, with seeing 10 billion inferences up 400% in 1 year. Cognitive services reached 53 billion transactions per month, over 130% since last year. With cognitive search, we are now seeing 24 billion queries per month. Finally, we're seeing enormous growth with our Azure bot service. We're seeing 30,000 bots created monthly with over 3 billion monthly messages sent. Our Azure Health bot, for example, is being used by organizations like the CDC, Premera Blue Cross, and Walgreens to build virtual healthcare assistants used by more than 80 million people worldwide at a time when expanding access to healthcare information is more critical than ever. Today, I'm thrilled to announce new capabilities across our Azure AI services. Azure Machine Learning. Starting today, customers can train machine learning models on premises and in multi-cloud environments with Azure Machine Learning support for Azure Arc. This simplified, fully managed machine learning add-on can be deployed with one click on Arc-enabled Kubernetes clusters. This means organizations can lower costs by leveraging their existing Kubernetes infrastructure and increase operational efficiency. Additionally, we continue to deepen the integration between Azure Machine Learning and Synapse Analytics. Now, data science teams can use Azure Synapse Analytics Spark clusters for large-scale interactive data preparation tasks from within Azure Machine Learning notebooks. We're also bringing new capabilities to Form Recognizer, an AI-powered document extraction service that extracts text and key-value pairs from your forms and documents. Organizations can now extract data from invoices as well as benefit from the significant increase in the language support. We are adding 64 additional languages, taking the total to 73 languages. Cognitive Search is the only cloud search service with built-in AI capabilities that enrich all types of information to easily identify and explore relevant content at scale. Today, I'm very excited to announce breakthrough new technology that brings in semantic understanding to cognitive search. The new Semantic Search capability in Azure Cognitive Search enables organizations to offer highly relevant and contextual search experience in their applications. Semantic Search is based on years of AI innovation by Microsoft Research and leverages some of the most advanced natural language models that power search engines like Bing. Models that understand relationship between words and come up with answers that are much more relevant to the searcher's intent. Let's dig a bit deeper. Most organizations depend on in-app search as a critical component of their customer experience. But the current search offerings in the market fall short. Most of the search offerings in the market is keyword-based and looks at the frequency of the exact word and return results. As you see here, the current search engine may not return the most relevant answer. All of this changes with the introduction of Semantic Search. Here you can see how Semantic Search contextually understands what the user is looking for. It comes up with relatable terms to maternity such as mother and extends that context to other related terms. It does the same with visiting hours. After that process, Semantic Search evaluates the underlying data to determine the most relevant answer. You can see how Semantic Search zeroes in on childbirth center given its relationship with maternity ward and finds the most relevant answer to the query. We can also see a summary of the answer right at the top with the childbirth center hours, so users don't have to click on multiple links and look for answers within long documents. We are proud to bring this breakthrough innovation to you. Let me welcome Pablo Castro, Distinguished Engineer, to demonstrate this new capability. Take it away, Pablo.
Thank you, Rohan. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here today to share new innovations in Azure Cognitive Search with all of you. Most search engines follow this path from simple keyword search to sophisticated systems that understand content and queries to give the best result. For cognitive search, over the last few years, we have evolved the service to include machine learning-based capabilities for content understanding and enrichment during data ingestion. This has enabled developers to incorporate search over data of all nature in their applications. I wanted to share our next step in this journey. Ultimately, the search functionality in an application delivers value at the point where you present relevant search results to your users. Today, we're introducing new semantic search capabilities that bring a step function in search result relevance with semantic ranking, the ability to directly answer questions with semantic answers, and the option to extract the best text passages from documents for a given query with semantic captions. This is powered by the same state-of-the-art large language models and transformer networks that we use in Bing for web-scale search, and innovations in machine reading and comprehension, as well as other natural language processing work from Bing and Microsoft Research. These powerful search functionalities are the reason why customers like Howden with Orange Next have already started testing these capabilities for their aftermarket management smart records system and were able to significantly improve search accuracy. By better understanding the search's intent and the contextual meaning of search query, Smart Records generates more relevant results than ever before. Let me show you this in action. First, let's see how easy it is to get started with cognitive search, and then we'll dive into the new capabilities. For this demo, let's say I'm a developer for a healthcare institution equipping their patients with accurate and easily discoverable information about COVID-19. To build this application, we used cognitive search and we created a custom web frontend to serve as the user experience. Let's start in the Azure portal. First step is to connect to the source of data. As you can see, we support connecting to most data stores in Azure right out of the box. Here, I'll choose blob storage. Next step is to tell cognitive search what machine learning models to use to understand this data. Now, I can enable optical character recognition, use cognitive services for entity extraction, machine translation, computer vision, and more. With just a few clicks, we've started using Azure Cognitive Search and added custom built-in AI skills without any machine learning expertise. Now, let's use the application frontend we already built to test out our search results. Let's say a patient searches for how common is sore throat in COVID-19 patients. As you can see, traditional keyword search and ranking does a good job quickly matching documents using keywords. However, some documents talk about sore throat but not in the context of COVID, and none seem to mention statistics to answer how common it is. I'm going to enable semantic search and rerun this search. You can see a difference right away. By simply enabling semantic capabilities, the top documents are precisely about the frequency of manifestation of sore throat, specifically in COVID patients. Here is what it looks like under the covers in VS Code. This is a typical HTTP request to the Search API. When I issue this request, I see responses based on keyword search. Now, I'm going to switch the query type option to semantic and reissue this query. You can see that's all I needed to change, and now I get the improved results. As I mentioned before, in addition to improved relevance, we are introducing semantic answers and captions. Let's say a patient searches for who was the first doctor to report COVID-19. This time, let's enable semantic answers, captions, and spell check. Note that there was a spelling mistake in the query, but the spelling corrector kicked in and made sure we found documents for the intended question. You can also see semantic captions in action here. Look how for each document we get a short text passage that's relevant for our particular search query. Not only do we get relevant search results, but cognitive search also proposes a direct answer for the question based on the indexed content. This enables you as a developer to support the same kind of question and answer experiences that web search engines offer, but on your own data and your own application. We've been working hard to formally validate search results and ensure they're not just anecdotally better, but quantitatively so. Here, you can see a comparison of current Lucene-based search engines that typically use BM25 for scoring and cognitive search with semantic search enabled. Here we use a well-understood metric called NDCG to measure relevance of top results. In summary, Azure Cognitive Search is the only cloud search service with built-in AI capabilities for all aspects of search, from ingestion to relevance. All these semantic search capabilities are available to you today to apply in your own applications. Sign up for the preview and let us know how it goes. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Rohan.
Now let's switch gears to data governance. The groundswell of interest for Azure Purview, our newly announced unified data governance service, has been just breathtaking. Since its announcement just a few short weeks ago, organizations have automatically scanned over 14.5 billion assets across more than 2,000 newly created Purview accounts. To the thousands of customers participating in the public preview of Azure Purview, let me express my sincere gratitude for your partnership and guidance. Thank you. Azure Purview is a reimagination of data governance and helps you maximize the business value of your data. It starts with knowing what data you have. Azure Purview helps you create a holistic, up-to-date map of your data residing on premises, multi-cloud, and in SaaS application data sources. The Purview Data Map offers automated metadata discovery, AI-powered classifiers, and end-to-end lineage. Today, I'm happy to announce that we are now able to map even more of your multi-cloud and on-premise data sources. Starting this week, customers can automatically scan and classify data residing in their on-premises Oracle databases. This adds existing capability to automatically scan data sources such as Teradata, SQL Server on-premises, Azure Data Services, and Power BI. We will continue to expand the reach of Purview Data Map, so stay tuned for more updates to this list. We recently enriched Azure Purview's ability to scan Azure Synapse Analytics workspaces. Customers can now discover and govern data across their serverless and dedicated SQL pools within Synapse workspaces. Additionally, Synapse users can now natively discover data with Purview-powered search within their Synapse workspaces, breaking down those operational silos more effectively than ever before. As we look at all these truly exciting announcements, it's clear Azure Data and AI services offer limitless scale, performance, and possibilities for what you can achieve with your data. By maximizing the potential of your data, you have the power to go limitless and digitally transform your organization. We are truly excited to see and hear about your successes. Thank you.